Hi everyone. I know it's been a long time since I made a video. Um, there have been so many things happening in life, and I know that I say this every time, but it's really true. Um, and I'm having kind of a girly day today. I have a purple shirt on, you can't tell, but I'm wearing pink and I have a pink background. Um, Holidays are really hard for me. Um, Christmas, especially the month of December. Had a really I've had a lot of bad things happen in in this time of year. And so I think I have trauma related depression around this time. So I had some episodes that happened during this time, a few days before Christmas. I was really missing my fiance, and I could feel myself like really getting into this really low mood because I know Christmas is approaching and I'm thinking, well, this is the second year without him. Second holiday, second birthday, second New Year's, second everything without him. And ruminating on how, you know, again, I feel just completely abandoned by him when we separated, and I'm dealing with all of these things back home that I was not anticipating, and having like really no support at all, and just going through so much with my mom and that and the situation with my brother. And it's been wild to say the least. And alongside with busting my ass every single day, um I lost weight, and it's a good thing. I needed to lose weight. I got pretty chunky, but I know it's not a healthy way, you know I burn too many calories during the day. I don't eat enough, and I don't eat because I'm not hungry. And on Christmas Eve, I was invited out to, well, Christmas Eve specifically, I was having a really, really hard day, starting out with the fact that my other partner, my other half isn't here, which made it an emotional day period. And my mom and I were invited out to a good friend of ours' house, um, up in Hawaiian Homes or Mana Road, very desolate, so they can have big parties over there and we can be loud, and it's very country. But it was a good night. I The alcohol was flowing. I don't drink anymore really because of my emotional state, but um I was drinking a lot that night. I was drinking tequila cran, and I was taking shots of whiskey, and like I don't drink anymore, but I can drink. You know, I come from a family of alcoholics, and lately I know that I can't handle my alcohol because of my emotional state. I get too riled up if something triggers me. So, I was having a good time though. I had a good time at the party. There was nothing going on that made me upset. But on the way home, I felt the need to try to talk to my mom, which is never a good idea because my mom is completely avoidant. She shuts me out every time. She doesn't want to discuss anything with me. as far as her emotions go. And I know she has Alzheimer's, and it's another way for me to try to connect with her. And it breaks my heart that, I try to come from a place of understanding, of trying to help her out of this hole that she's in. And she just tells me to be quiet and shut up, and it's not in a playful manner either, you know. Um I probably didn't come from a very validating childhood. I probably came from a very invalidating childhood. The more that I'm home and I realize it as an adult, you know, the same patterns are coming up, and it's a whole slew of things that I just was not prepared to deal with and to unpack in the middle of everything else that's happening in my life. So of course I was over the edge. Um I flipped out. I started throwing things around the house. I was out of complete character, out of character. And I'm not ashamed of my actions at all whatsoever, because I know that these are things that have been pent up for so long that the alcohol just exacerbated it, really. And it's not in my nature to be a violent person, but a trigger is not being heard, you know? But ever since then, I've just been in this slump. And I don't know if you can tell, but my voice is a little raspy. I caught a cold, and I've been down for like 3 days now. But my depression has returned with a vengeance, and I've just been unmotivated. And as much as I need to rest, because I've been going nonstop, working every day from sun up till sundown in this cold weather, hot weather, rainy weather that we have, it's just so, like, my body is trying to tell me to slow down. But being alone and having to process everything that's going on, it like my BPD is really ramping up, and I'm self-isolating. I'm pushing away people. I don't want to be around anybody, but I know that I need to go through these motions. I need to go through it to come out. But I don't think anybody around me really understands what's happening to me. And I've asked my mom to look into BPD and what it is, and she keeps mistaking it for bipolar disorder. I'm like, no, I don't have bipolar disorder. I have borderline personality disorder. And the fact that she hasn't looked into it and hasn't really tried to understand it makes me feel, gives me the ick. Like, I don't know if you really understand or really care to understand what's going on with me. And, when it comes to her and her illnesses and her disease, like, I'm always researching on what to do, how to be better for her. Someone with BPD has extreme emotions. We feel so hard. Everything, happiness, sadness, despair. It's like times 100. When I'm happy, I'm elated, which is most of the time, which is why it's really hard for people to see me like this because it's not me. It's not who I'm portrayed to be most of the time. Because most of the time I'm so happy and bubbly, you know? I'm the one who's changing the mood. And when I'm sad, I'm really sad. I am really sad. And having these constant ups and downs, and I haven't felt this unstable in a long time. I think it's because I've been keeping myself busy, and when I'm not busy, I have too much time to think. And then I start ruminating of all of these things that are happening. It's not healthy. It's not healthy for me to be alone, but at the same time, I need to be alone. Like I crave being alone, having isolation, being quiet, and it's so complicated. I didn't have a plan for this video, but I wanted to upload something. I haven't had the motivation to upload anything, nor the time or energy with everything going on. But I definitely feel my BPD acting up, trying to ruin everything in my life. And I'm doing all the right things. I'm going to therapy, taking medication, although it's for my major depressive disorder and anxiety, but it helps with some of the symptoms that come with BPD. People say with age, it gets better. It's you ask anybody with BPD, it's not like you want to die, right? You don't want to kill yourself. You don't want to do that, but you just don't want to be here. And it's just from so much emotional pain. You won't do anything rash because you care too much about the people around you, you know? Although the rate is higher because of the intense emotions that we have in the moment. But most of us we can control that for the most part is one of the things that we can control. Wish wish it was normal. I wish I was the person that people saw, that people meet. Not that I'm not. I mean, I am that person, but I'm also this person. Hard to deal with, hard to manage, hard to handle. I remember first moving back home and not knowing that my mom had Alzheimer's disease because nobody wanted to inform anybody about this, and thinking that my mom just completely just hated me for some reason, not knowing what was going on with her, and me trying to reason with her and talk to her, reason with her, which is something I cannot do anymore. And I've figured this out with time. But she was telling me, maybe you should go stay with your sister because I can't handle you. And hearing that was so hurtful because I don't need to be handled. I'm not an animal. I'm a human with emotions that are so strong. I need to be talked to. I just want to be talked to. I want to be validated. Should have to be handled like an animal. you know, and the hardest thing about it is that I can't tell her that. I cannot talk to my mother like a normal mother. It's not possible. You try your best every day. That's all you can do. Never give up on yourself. I've wanted to so many times. And I know a lot of you can resonate with me, which is why I talk about this on a platform that's worldwide. You're not alone. You never will be alone. There's a lot of us that feel the way you do, to understand you in a world that misunderstands us. When our minds are going at a million miles a minute, and you're constantly caught in flight or flight mode. But you survived another day. It's up to you to decide if that's to be celebrated or not. Some days don't feel that way, I know. Waking up to a new day feels like, fuck, here I am. But there's a reason why you woke up. To find that reason, remember you are loved, okay? You are heard, you are seen, and it's not your fault you're like this. All you can do is continue working on you. 2026 is the year of the horse. Year of the horse is a year of abundance, new beginnings. 2026 equals 10, which is completion, end of a cycle. If you believe in numerology and Chinese astrology and the spirits, spiritual world, last year was a shit year. We may still be dealing with the remnants of it, but it was a year of a closing of a cycle. We are in the completion of it now. So I hope we all have this year what we've been asking for and working hard for, because we deserve it. Deserve a break. Happy New Year. And give love to all of you.